Hello everyone, this is Aman from GyanDhan. Please allow me a couple of minutes before we start this session. I can see in the meanwhile people are joining, so let them. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Thanks a lot everyone for joining early. So we'll start in another 60 seconds. I can see many people still joining. So I see somebody has asked if the recording will be available for this session. I want to let everybody know that this is also being streamed on, and the video will be available on GyanDhan YouTube channel. It is being recorded live, and you can you will be able to get it later. Okay, great. So I can see a lot many live on YouTube chat and here on the platform. Let's start. Hello everyone. This is Aman Jain. I'm the host for the session today. Thanks a lot for joining in on time and early. I can see many people are uh, joining along as I speak. I can see few questions around. Are we recording this webinar? Again, repeating that this is being live streamed on the YouTube channel of GyanDhan and will be available on the YouTube channel later. So you can subscribe to GyanDhan channel, or you can simply go ahead and later check it out. So this video will be available on our YouTube as well. So without any delay, let me start with the topic today. So as I said, my name is Aman. I am one of the founding members at GyanDhan. Let me start with a quick introduction of GyanDhan before I go ahead and talk about how to plan your education loan repayment. So GyanDhan is an education financing marketplace. We primarily work with various lenders, and we are an NBFC ourselves as well. But our mode of working is the marketplace where you come apply at GyanDhan for education loan, check eligibility on our website, and we recommend you the best product. So let's say if you're eligible for an 8% loan, then we help you able to get an 8% loan. Whereas if you're not eligible at all, then we try to find you the deal which can help you getting the education loan. So ultimately, the aim of GyanDhan is to help you with getting education loan with or without collateral, faster, simpler, in the excellent experience manner. Since we started back in 2016, we have helped numerous students in getting the education loan. In fact, last year itself, we helped around 3,000 students. In total, we have done disbursement more than 3,000 crore for abroad education. And now GyanDhan works in many other educational spaces as well. We are now doing education loans for coachings, schools, colleges in India. But as far as today's discussion is concerned, we'll be talking about education loan repayment of abroad education loan. Without further delay, let me start the session. Uh, I already given you the overview. Just want to add on about on what I already have said, that GyanDhan has a phenomenal response from the student community. People have written reviews, stories, made videos, and published themselves on YouTube how we were able to help them out in getting an education loan. So that's something that you can check it out. Now, talking about repayment. So, repayment of education loan depends on many factors. So, first, there are four kinds of repayment mode available in the market. So, the first mode, as you can see on the screen, the first one is education loan, where you don't have to pay anything while you study, and plus 6 months. So, that is called the moratorium period. So during the moratorium period, you are not supposed to pay anything. That is the first kind of the repayment period. Your EMI starts after graduation. After graduation, plus 6 months in most of the cases. So that is the first case that we have. The second is that you have to pay full interest. So whatever that is being calculated, you have to pay full interest per month. That is the second kind of repayment. The third is, which is being offered by many NBFC, is that you have to pay partial interest per month, which is that your interest per month during study period is, let's say, coming at 10,000 per month, but you are just supposed to pay 5,000 per month, and the rest gets accumulated with your principal amount. And the fourth option is full EMI during moratorium. That means your EMI starts immediately, like personal loan, from the very next month. So these are the four kinds of repayment options available in the market, depending on which lender, which bank, which NBFC, which international player you are taking a loan from. And it's very important to understand the repayment period and its impact on your education loan per se. So we'll talk about each of them in details, but I think you must get a gist of all kind of repayment period by now. Now, talking about, so I want to give you a sense around uh, what is the difference in terms of getting the repaying overall repayment of the loan, uh, depending on which lender that you are choosing, which case you are choosing. So as I said, there are four cases. So we are taking an example that, okay, Mr. X, let me call Mr. Raman. So Mr. Raman is going to Arizona State University for MS in US. He borrows INR 25 lakh from a lender. So that is the case study. Now there can be four cases as we discussed. Case one, no interest during moratorium. Case two, full interest during moratorium. Case three, partial interest during moratorium, and case four is full EMI during moratorium. Now, first of all, let's understand these options are available with which kind of lenders. So the first option is only available with secured loans, and that too from public sector bank. So if you don't want to pay anything while you study, then you need to take a loan from public sector bank, that too the secured loan, right? If you want only full interest to be paid, then you need to go with the banks like Axis Bank, ICICI. So primarily private banks. The third one is PI, partial interest during moratorium, which is available with NBFCs. And the fourth is available with all the lenders that you have to pay EMI. So this is the same thing we are repeating again and again. Now, so just this interest rates are relative, but is true representation in relative terms. So case A, because you're taking it from the public sector bank, the interest rate will be very, very low. In fact, this date it is 9%. And in fact, that is also because in the last couple of months, RBI has increased the repo rate. So 9% or 10% you get in the case A. Case B 11%, case C 12%, case D 13%. And let's assume the loan tenure is 10 years in all the cases. Now, let's understand the implication in terms of the repayment. Now, all the four cases again. So in the case A, while you study, you don't have to pay anything, as I said. While in the case B, you have, because you are paying full interest per month. So interest we have assumed here is 25 lakh. So if you are taking a loan of 25 lakh rupees at 11% per annum and you get 25 lakh rupees disbursed, then you need to pay 22,960 as the interest while you study per month, you or your co-applicant. Whereas partial interest during moratorium is that like the interest is 22k, but you are paying 10,000 per month as the partial interest, and the rest of the amount is going to the principal amount and accumulating with that. And the fourth option is the case D, where you are paying everything, where the amount while you study is 35,000. So first impact you will see in the repayment, that depending on what kind of moratorium period you are choosing, uh, you have to pay different amount while you study. So now you can think, okay, when I am studying, whether I have the capacity to pay something. If not, then go ahead with the secured loan, public sector bank. If you don't, if you have the capacity, but how much do you want? The first thing is, do you have the capacity? Second is, do you want to pay? So let's say somebody's have the capacity, but they don't want to pay. Even in that case, they have to go with case A. But if you can pay, and your parents can pay, then go ahead with other options depending on how much is the capacity. If you can, obviously if you are repaying earlier, then the overall interest component reduces, which you will see again later. Now the EMI. So the first amount that we discuss is the amount that you were paying while you study. Second is EMI. When the EMI starts, like in the first case, the EMI starts after you graduate. So you will see the EMI is higher in the first case because you did not pay anything while you studied. That gets, even though the interest rate was low in the case A, the money got accumulated and you have to pay higher amount per month. Whereas you will see the case B, because you were paying the full interest every month, is the lower. Whereas the case D, because the interest is higher, you have to pay 35K. Now total about repayment in 10 years, you can see the difference. Like this option is 2 lakh cost, 2 lakh uh, cheaper, the B option. uh, the C option and D option, again depending on which bank interested. These are just the representative terms and condition, but you can see the relative differences. And effective amount after tax that you pay, so that is the amount that you are going to pay. So now in the option C and D, you will see after tax benefit there are no difference, because you don't get the tax benefit in the NBFCs. Primarily you get the tax benefit in banks and public sector banks and private banks. That's why I have mentioned effective amount after tax benefit. That, so tax benefit you get on the interest under uh, section 80C. So I hope you are able to get the gist of it. Case A, case B, case C, case D. So remember, you can take sort of notes as well. The interest rate assumption was this 10, 11, 12, 13%, because that is the true. If you go with the full EMI, then 13% will be the interest rate, because that, so it's not your choice. The bank tells you that what will be your repayment period. Uh, so as I said, that start we work with numeric banks and NBFCs and can help you with all kinds of education loan at your doorstep for free. So if you're looking for an education loan, I would recommend to get in touch with your GyanDhan loan counselor by checking the loan eligibility on our website, and somebody from our team will get in touch with you to help you out with the education loan. So please take the screenshot of this. You can play with it. In fact, on our website, there is an education loan EMI calculator that you will find handy for such calculations. And you can do, it's India's only calculator that takes all of this scenario into consideration. So in fact, I did my calculation using that calculator only, where I assumed whether do I pay partial interest during moratorium, do I pay full interest during moratorium, do I pay no interest during moratorium, and accordingly it gives me the calculation schedule of payment. So I would recommend whatever loan that you are taking from wherever, do use that calculator to find out exact repayment schedule depending on your disbursement schedule as well. So do check that out. Now, so I hope this gives you different uh, kind of scenarios when it comes to the repayment period. I would say, oh, if possible, go with the option A, case A, because the interest rate is very, very, very low in the case A. In fact, these days the interest rate will be 8.5% or 9%, depending on which public sector bank you are getting it done from. In fact, even for public sector bank like SBI, Bank of Baroda, if you have the collateral and if you get your process done from GyanDhan, GyanDhan representative will come to your home, will pick up the documents and submit it in the branch, so that you don't have to go to the branches again and again. GyanDhan will help you out with the education loan end to end without any delay. So I hope you take that into consideration. And on the over and above that, the GyanDhan services are completely free of cost. You don't have to pay anything extra, any penny. In fact, we save you money everywhere possible. So going ahead with GyanDhan for the education loan is not only a smart choice, but it also help you saving money. Now, we will be spending some time on how else you can arrange money while you study to pay the interest or partial interest. So there are different kinds of ways. The first is getting an assistantship and part-time job. Now, generally, the stipend, let's say I'm just taking an example of US, but that goes, there will be difference in number, but that is constant across all the major countries. Generally, you get $10 to $12 per hour. Uh, you can't work more than 20 hours a week. So in a week, you can make 900 to $1,000 or even more. And these days, that amounts to 76,000 rupees because one INR is 76 rupees now. So that is the one way to get that money that you can use to pay the partial interest, simple interest, or full interest. Second is the second source of money is the internship during semester break. So during semester break, you can do internships, you can do elongated hour of part-time job and get $3,000 to $5,000 during that time. So these are the couple of ways you can arrange money while you study to pay the interest, partial interest, simple interest, EMI, whatever is more suitable to you. Uh, the very thing that you need to do is analyze your financial and then take the decision whether can you afford the full interest, partial interest. One thing that I want to mention that in if you are taking an unsecured loan, then you need to pay something while you study. You can't let, you can't not pay anything while you study. You have to pay something you study. uh, One other thing that I want to add on the top of this is that when you take education loan, so it's not like that the interest is being calculated on the entire education loan. The interest is only calculated on the partial. Let's say if you have got an education loan for 30 lakh rupees, but in the first year you got 10 lakh rupees disbursed. So for the first year, the interest rate will be charged on only and only on 10 lakh rupees, not more than that, and so on and so forth. Let's say in the second year you take 15 lakh rupees, then the interest will be charged on 15 lakh rupees. In the third year, if you take 30 lakh rupees, then interest will be charged in the entire 30 lakh rupees. So depending on how what is your disbursement criteria, again the repayment, interest, everything will be changed. And as I mentioned, that all of this is customizable in GyanDhan Education Loan Calculator. You can search it on Google and can check it out. Now, next question that everybody has. Okay, you have talked about. Hey, I okay, I got the loan, I got the part-time job. Maybe I chose the first option where I had to know I didn't had to pay anything while study, or I took an option of partial interest, simple interest, and paid my partial simple interest by working part-time, or my parents did it. But will I earn enough? That is the question everybody has when they go abroad. That okay, hey, will I earn enough to uh, get an to repay my education? And that's why we will be exploring different scenarios, and this can be true for any person. So I'm starting with person A, again Mr. Aman or Mr. X. Let's say he's working in US, and after graduation, he gets a job of $80,000, which is a very fair assumption. If you are doing, if you have done even okay in your efforts there, you should get $80,000 job. Now, typical disposable income. Disposable income is the income that uh, you will be able to save. Will be 35%. Uh, so potentially you will be able to save 23 to $2,300, which is approximately 1,45,000 per year. So as you know that we calculated 35,000 rupees that you had to pay everything. So if you even in the scenario A, which is a very like one of the, you should be able to get that if you do okay while you go abroad education. That $80,000 going to US is not a big deal, even if you don't do very good. So something that can be done. Now let's say after graduation, after doing MS or after doing your education, you want to go for PhD. Again, there also you will earn 25,000 to 30,000 per year dollar. So and EMI will start after 6 months of your PhD start. So you will have to cut expenses, you will have to save, but the EMIs can be paid, right? Third option, worst option, nightmare, that you didn't get a job and is working in India now. You have to come back, you work in India. Uh, on an average, you should be able to earn 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees when you get back. And again, uh, life will be hard, obviously, because this will be bad luck that you won't be able to get a job or something. But you have to come back. You had to come back, whatever be the reason. But even in that scenario, you earn 1 and 1.5 lakh rupees after coming from abroad. There also, as I said, the life will be hard, as half to one third of the earnings will go as EMI. But again, it's not like that you will not be able to pay until unless there is, as long as there will be an intent, as long as that you want to fight, you will be able to repay your education loan. And that's something that you should keep in mind, and that is the intent with which we made this slide, that okay, hey, you should be and you would be able to pay the education loan as long as you try. Even if you come back to India, in that scenario, the life will be hard, you will have to cut expenses, but even after that you will be able to repay your education loan. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell about the repayment of the entire loan. Now, many of you must not be getting a good deal right now, an education loan. You must be getting a very high interest rate. Now, what to do? Right now, you have to go abroad and you are getting high interest rate loan and you want to take it. But how to tackle that? How to manage that in future? So the way to do is that currently the you are getting high interest rate because the bank may not be very sort of confident around the repayment or something. There must be something that is not allowing bank to give you a lower rate of interest. But once you get a job, then your things changes significantly. Then you can show to the bank, any bank, that okay, hey, I have a job offer letter of $80,000, $70,000, $100,000, and then the lender can reevaluate. The other lenders can reevaluate your profile and can reduce your interest rate. So we call it balance transfer. So we transfer your education loan from the current lender A to lender B. So, for example, if you had an unsecured loan of 13%, right? Now, after getting a job, you can reduce it to 11.5%. Somebody who has an, or even lower. These days, we recently had a deal with one of the partner bank, Axis Bank, where if you were doing your balance transfer, then we were able to help you out with interest rate as low as 10.5%. So after you get a job, because you have a job now, there is nothing to be proven now. Now you have already proven that the college that you went to was good. You did your efforts, and after that you got the job. So the risk reduces for the lender significantly, and that's where again you can reduce your interest. So GyanDhan work with many lenders, different lenders, and have launched education loan refinancing or education loan balance transfer. And whenever you graduate, and if you have a higher interest rate, you can come back to us and can ask us that okay, hey, can I reduce my interest rate? And we say yes, because now you have a job. The risk for the lender is low. You should be able to get a lower interest rate now. So that is the way to manage your high interest rate once you graduate, to reduce your overall repayment. I hope this is making sense to you. Now, just to summarize, and I see a lot many questions have been asked, but let me just summarize tips that we talked about and some new tips as well. So first of all, you have to analyze and finalize the condition and decide what kind of repayment period you want during the moratorium period. That is the one way. Second, capitalize on features such as margin money, lower interest rate for women, tax benefits, and benefits of the schemes like Rin Raksha, which is an insurance scheme by SBI, which reduces your interest rate by further. So these are the few things that you can do. You can get in touch with GyanDhan loan counselor and again discuss with him or her the options that you have to reduce your overall expenses of education loan. Take loan amount in installment. Let's say if you have 10 lakh rupees in your saving, your overall loan is 30 lakh rupees. So for the first year, use your own money, so that you take the loan later half, and the interest will be only charged on the money that is you are taking later in the process. You can opt for fixed interest rates while taking an education loan because, for example, these days RBI has increased the repo rate, and if the repo rate has increased, that means all the interest rates will increase even for the existing loans, and your EMI will increase. So that's I won't say that that's a very big point, but that's something that you can consider. uh, you can understand the prepayment policy. So let's say if you get a good bonus, or if you get a very good job, or if you want to buy home loan, car loan, and you have to close your education loan earlier, then understand what is the prepayment penalty, prepayment policy of the bank, of the lender, and then only take the loan, then only sign it, because some lenders might say that okay, you have to pay 3%, 4% extra to repay the education loan, to close the education loan. And as I said, that you can transfer the education loan to a new lender who offers a lower rate of interest to reduce it once you graduate. So, having said that, that's what I wanted to mention when, as far as the education loan is concerned, and as far as repayment of education loan is concerned. If any of you is looking for an education loan, I would recommend you to get in touch with GyanDhan Loan Counselor, by checking the loan eligibility. We work with 10 plus lender. We can help you getting education loan without collateral, without co-applicant, at the lower rate of interest, at a lower processing fee. In fact, we have schemes with which you will be able to save money at the end of the day. You can apply for the GyanDhan scholarship, which is listed on the website, and there are many other scholarship, internal scholarship started by GyanDhan, listed on our website. Get benefit out of that as well. And there is another scheme that we run, is called group education loan. So if you come in groups, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, you get group discounts as well. So these are the few things, other things that I wanted to mention before I go ahead and take the questions that we have. So I can see a lot many questions, and let me uh, take all the questions one by one. Okay, so we have the first question: is prepayment of loan allowed? Is there any charge on the prepayment? Lakveer, as I mentioned, that most of the banks these days, they don't charge any prepayment penalty, but still I would say, before signing the loan agreement, do read out the agreement. If there is any, do note it down and get it removed, because there should not be any prepayment on education loan as a concept. Can we pay some amount which can deduct from principal amount? Yes, you can. You can anytime you can pay more and can reduce from the principal amount. So that's not an issue. You can do it, Rohit. We have third question: how do we avail tax benefit on section of the loan we under section 80? So, Chaitanya, if you take a loan from the bank, not from the NBFC, if you take a loan from the bank, at the end of the year, you can get a interest certificate from the bank, which you can use while filling out the tax benefit, while filling out the ITR, and you can get tax benefit under that. So while filing the ITR, you can mention under section 80, this was the interest amount that you paid in the entire year, and then your loan amount will be reduced accordingly. Uh, Question: what happens to the remaining amount which we did not take from the disbursed loan amount? Nothing. So it's there will not be anything. Let's say if you got loan approved of 30 lakh rupees, and you used only 20 lakh rupees out of that, so then 10 lakh rupees is null and void. Only 20 lakh rupees is what you will be concerned about. So you should not worry about that. You don't have to pay any penalty. You don't have to pay anything to the bank for not using that amount. Is it true for an unsecured loan we need to bring in collateral if we want to transfer it to another bank? No, it is not true, Shweta. If you have an unsecured loan, that can be transferred as an unsecured loan to other bank as well. So you should not worry about that. I would love to have this session recorded. Can this be recorded and mailed to us? Vimal, it is already being recorded and live streamed on our YouTube, and I can see many people are watching it right now on our YouTube as well, on GyanDhan YouTube channel. So you can check it out later. Uh, so there is a question: can you please explain four options, especially no interest during moratorium? So as I said, that the four option case. So option one was no interest during moratorium period. That means that you don't have to pay anything while you study. Your repayment starts after you graduate. So that option comes from the public sector bank like SBI, Bank of Baroda. So if you are looking for a no interest during moratorium option, it's not that you don't have to. Your interest will not be charged. It is that the interest will be charged, but you don't have to pay right now. It will get accumulated with your principal amount. Uh, this option is only and only available with the public sector bank, and uh, can be availed through GyanDhan. I hope that answers your question. Sir, what about the unsecured loan of ICICI Bank? Yes, you can take an unsecured loan from ICICI Bank via GyanDhan. Uh, I don't know, Dev, what is your question here? If you can repeat or you can let me know the question, I would be better. I would be able to answer it in a better way. Okay, so we have many questions in the chat box as well. Uh, okay, so we have more questions coming in. So I would recommend everyone that put the question in the Q&A box, because then I can show it in this on the screen as well. Uh, so please put the question in the uh, Q&A box only. I will take only those questions. If loan is not approved and we manage pay by ourselves, then we can go for the loan services. If the loan is not approved and we manage pay by ourselves, then we can go for loan services. Uh, I don't think I am able to understand this question, Rick Grover. You can please let me know the question again. So for NBFC, we can't avail tax benefit. Yes, except for one NBFC, as per the government gadget, you cannot avail. Or let me answer it in this way: Government of India has issued list of banks and NBFCs, and there is only one NBFC in that list where you can avail the tax benefit. So if you are taking it from anywhere else, then maybe you will not be able to get the tax benefit. What are the chances of paying the loan amount successfully with a huge amount of loan, 50 lakh? So Krishna, I would say the chances are pretty high. Usually people end up paying the loan because first of all, everybody who go abroad, because it's such a higher amount, when they take a loan, they take all the calculation, how much risk are they taking and everything, and after that only they take the loan. Usually bank also give you the loan only when they know that if you're going to good college and would be able to make money after that if you do good. So usually people do pay, irrespective. People even take 1 crore loan, 2 crore loan, depending on which bank, depending on which college you are going to. You should be able to pay the loan if you do good in your courses and get a good job. So usually, yes, the chances are very high. Usually, people do end up paying their abroad education loan. We have not heard many stories of people not paying. People do end up paying the loans. Explain about unsecured loan, an option which will be good option if you go with full amount loan getting. Okay, getting difference between GyanDhan and the scholar. Okay, so there are many kinds of unsecured loan. You can get unsecured loan without collateral. You can get unsecured loan without collateral and without co-applicant. Uh, so if you are going ahead with the unsecured loan, the interest will be higher than the secured loan because the risk for the bank is higher. I won't recommend you to go with the unsecured loan when you have the property. Go with the secured loan only in that case. Uh, the good option will be to also always go for the unsecured loan from the private banks, then NBFCs, then international players. So first check with the private banks. And as I said that we work with 10 plus lender, mixture of private bank, public bank, NBFCs, international lenders. So we can do it that for you. Question, next question, difference between GyanDhan and VMake Scholar. Ajay, I would say both the organization is great. I would say we are better. We have the better tech solution, better deals for the students, and we are able to provide better customer experience to the end customer. Having said that, both the organization is good, and you can take loan through either one of us. It is possible loan unsecured loan without co-applicant. Yes, Rinku, it is possible unsecured loan without co-applicant. Uh, it is only possible for selected number of colleges and courses. So if you are going to those selected number of college and courses, then only you should be able to get a list unsecured loan without collateral, without co-applicant. If you want to know if the college you are going to is in the list or not, again get in touch with the GyanDhan loan counselor and they will be able to tell you out. Just to clarify again, the moratorium period starts after the studies, right? Mean during the studies for all of them, focus we don't need to pay any amount, right? No, Shwin, this is incorrect understanding. The moratorium period is including the study period. Study period plus 6 months is called the moratorium period in most of the banks. Study period plus 1 year is called the moratorium period. So moratorium period includes study period. So for the options, when we were saying that you have to pay partial interest, simple interest during the moratorium period, that means you have to pay while you study. Does GyanDhan charge separate fee? No, GyanDhan doesn't charge any extra fee. The services of GyanDhan is complete free of cost. In fact, we save money for you at the end of the day. So do apply through GyanDhan, get benefit of our services, get benefit of our experience of helping 10 plus thousand of students in getting education loan in last 5 years. A quick question regarding collateral based loan from Bank of India or SBI. I will apply for 60 lakh loan for 10 year. Can you mention the 4 cases scenario, right? Which scenario would you recommend me to take up to ensure the lowest EMI? Let me send you a link and you would be able to get to answer to this yourself. Just give me a second. So this is in our footer. There is something called EMI calculator. So Vaibhav, I don't think I should be able to calculate it for you right now here, because all other people will have other questions as well. This will take 10 to 15 minutes. I shared the link of the EMI calculator in the chat box. Do check that out and you should be able to get to the answer yourself. Okay, let's go ahead. Do I pay off the loan from the same amount that I have taken the loan from, like from my father's account? Yes, you can. Like bank needs money to be repaid. It doesn't matter whether you are paying, your father is paying. It should be fine. What are the requirements of third party guarantor if in case unsecured loan with any hand bank? So third party guarantor is only needed when your primary co-applicant or don't have the property. If they have the property, then the third party guarantor will not be required, Nikita. Can you please say which NBFC listed by the government of India? Credila. I need 20 lakh for my studies. I have to no collateral to submit. So can I go for the ICICI unsecured loan? What are the other lenders offer unsecured loan of 20 lakh? Yes. So unsecured loan depends on your co-applicant income, or if you're going to sit a set of colleges and courses. If the either of the condition met, then you can get the unsecured loan. Not only from ICICI Bank, from Axis Bank or many other lender as well. I would recommend you to get in touch with the GyanDhan loan counselor, and they will be able to help you out with your specific case. What is HDFC Credila disbursement process? How many disbursement can be availed? Shruti, so disbursement process is same for all the lenders. Once you get the loan approved, after that you have to sign the loan agreement, set up give them checks. After that, you have to raise request for the disbursement as per the requirement of your university. As per the requirement, you can raise the request, and that's it. Uh, Apart from that, you can apply for disbursement as many times as possible. You can apply even 10 times, but why would you do so? Try to minimize it so that you don't have to engage with the bank again and again, right? Don't have to do to and fro again and again. I've heard that RBI is making some new rules. Due to that, ROI is going to increase. So in the future, maybe after 3 years from now, up to what extent can we expect the interest rate? I don't think any new rules specifically. It's just that these days the repo rate is increasing, and that is all the interest rate are linked to base rate like repo rate. So you can expect increment of around another 1% from here at max, but that will be constant across the players. So that's fine. Like it's fine. The world average is increasing, so shouldn't matter to you. Again, can you explain the case again? What are the best bank for case A? The best bank for case A is State Bank of India and Bank of Baroda. So case A is where you don't have to apply for education loan. You are applying for an education loan where you don't have to pay anything while you study. Your repayment starts after you graduate. Uh, so that's it, because that comes with a very, very, very low interest rate, like 9% or 8.5%. The best bank is for case A is State Bank of India or Bank of Baroda, and you can take loan from us from for there. My education loan got approved with INCRED with the help of GyanDhan. So what else can we get from the GyanDhan? I read few services like visa counseling and scholarship, how to opt for it. So scholarship you can avail under the scholarship section. There is something called GyanDhan scholarship. Other than that, we will help you with the uh, uh, disbursement. Visa counseling will help you with the forex currency transfer. We will help you with the accommodation if needed. We will help you with the flight ticket booking. We will help you with uh, getting a credit card, opening the bank account statement, sending the money in the GIC account. So you name it, and we will be able to help you out with that. So any and everything will be done through us. When we repay every month after getting job, conversation charges apply every time we pay from different currency than in rupee, right? Any solution for that? Tanya, so yeah, you have to pay the conversion charges, but that will be when you do, so you will do the wire transfer, and for wire transfer the charges are very, very, very minimal. Hello. Yeah, so I was saying that conversion charges will apply, but the conversion charges are very, very less across, and we can find you more effective solution for that. Okay. Bank of Baroda versus SBI, which would you recommend for a secured loan of 60 lakh rupees for Duke University, listed as Elite Prime University for both SBI and Bank of Baroda? If it is listed Elite for both, I would recommend go with Bank of Baroda because their interest rate is further lower than SBI for the listed university. So go with Bank of Baroda in that case, Weber. Okay. Does loan disbursement depend on the university or individual as well as loan disbursement for accommodation? Is it only monthly or yearly basis? So see, disbursement doesn't depend on individual. Once the loan is approved, which is based on the university, uh, the loan disbursement can done. Then it will not be different for you. It will not different for other. The disbursement can be done for accommodation, yes, and for any living expenses, for laptop, for flight tickets, for even to eat a burger. Usually, bank give you money for the next 6 months in one go. You have to apply, but you can get the expenses for next 6 months in one go, and then you can apply again. I hope that answers the question. Sir, I have no further whaler access to my house, so getting a loan with collateral is difficult, right? This is why I go to the unsecured loan. How can I apply for unsecured loan in Axis Bank? Axis Bank, which one is better? So, Dev, I don't think you one of them is better or not better. It depends on your specific situation. Both of them are pretty much similar. Exercise, yes, there is this strange rule that if the property is not accessible by four wheeler, then many banks don't give the loan. But we can definitely try you getting a loan from an NBFC with collateral. So do reach out to GyanDhan loan counselor for the same. I have applied for a loan with some other organization and my loan is sanctioned. I am not happy with the information service provided. Can I switch to GyanDhan now? Yes, Jayesh, irrespective of whether you take the loan from us or not, you can, take help of ours. We would love to help you out, Jayesh. Just email me. My email ID is aman.jain@gyandhan.com. Let me just put it here. aman.jain@gyandhan.com. Uh, Give me the write to me, and with all your question, I will connect you with somebody from our team, and for others as well, whatever questions you have, if you want to get connected to somebody in our team, just write to me. I should be able to connect you with the other person. Okay, so we have more questions coming in. Many loan processes going on with Credila. I asked them whether they will provide fixing the rate. Answer to which was no. And you mentioned there are only floating ROI. Can you help me with this? Archie, so as I mentioned, most of the banks give floating interest rate only, and you should not worry about it because see, if the world average is increasing, it should not matter to you, right? So good practice is, like, my recommendation is, the good practice is to go with the floating rate only, because if it is increasing today, it will decrease tomorrow. It's a long term loan we are talking about, right? So don't think much about it. Floating interest rate should be fine. The only thing you should care about is the rate of interest. I would recommend you to again get in touch with GyanDhan if you are not already, if we can help you with the better deal than what you're getting currently. Because if you have an offer from somewhere else, we can definitely offer you better deals. Which public sector bank has the lowest rate of interest? State Bank of India and Bank of Baroda. These two public sector bank has the lowest rate. How can we avail GyanDhan scholarship? So it's very simple. Go on the scholarship section of GyanDhan. There is a section there. Or the first scholarship listed is the GyanDhan scholarship. So you can check that out, and you should be able to apply easily. It's a very simple form. Should not You should not worry about it. Okay, wow, so many more questions. SBI and Bank of Baroda ROI. Olenka, go to GyanDhan website on the partner section. Both bank are listed because ROI changes depending on the repo rate. So it has changed. Do check out the latest ROI on the partner section on the GyanDhan website. I hope you should be able to get it. Otherwise, just email me and you will be able to get to know the latest ROI. Which is the best NBFC offer unsecured loan? They've I won't say there is any best NBFC. Every NBFC has their own pros and cons. Few of the NBFCs that we work with is Avance, Incred, Credila, Auxilo. But for one person, Auxilo can offer the better deal. For other person, Avance can offer the better deal. And again, when you apply with GyanDhan, we apply with all the NBFCs all together, so that you get the best, you get the low offer from everywhere, and we negotiate using those offer to help you with the best interest rate. So I hope that answers the question. What is the best option for non-collateral loan of 35 lakh? So best option is to take it from the bank like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank via GyanDhan. But again, go check loan eligibility on GyanDhan website to talk to GyanDhan loan counselor, and you should be able to get the loan from there. Guys, please keep coming in more questions. We have we have few more minutes. I hope you are able to get benefit out of this session. If you have any other question, please put it in the question box. I can already see more than 60-70 questions being asked, and I'm overwhelmed by the response. Loving answering to this question. Okay. I've directly applied to HDFC Credila, but the problem is ROI when processing fee. GyanDhan involved and talk to the Credila team to reduce to them. See, so if you already have applied and the loan is approved, then probably we will not be able to help you out with getting a lower rate from Credila, but then we can help you getting a lower rate from elsewhere. So get in touch with us. I'm sure, 100% sure, whatever rate you are getting, we will be able to get you a better rate than that. Do reach out to GyanDhan loan counselor or write me on aman.jain@gyandhan.com, and somebody from our team will reach you out. I would recommend everyone to put the question in the Q&A box only, because then I can showcase it on the question on the screen as well. So another question, is there any risk involved in taking the loans from the NBFC? Is all secured? No, there is no risk involved per se, because at the end of the day, you are getting the money. It's not like that you're giving the money to them. So as such, there is no risk involved. You can take from loan any NBFC. Only thing you need to check is that if you are going to any country, you need to check the visa rules. So every country has a list of banks and NBFCs that they take the education loan certificate or education loan from. So right, so please, there is no risk involved. The only thing you need to check is whether your NBFC sanction letter is acceptable in the High Commission or the visa officer or visa offices or not. Can we avail partially secured loan with interest rate lower than lower non-collateral loan? Excellent question. Yes, 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 1,000 times yes, you can do that. But the partial secured loan you will only be able to get from the NBFCs. SBI doesn't offer partial collateral, unfortunately. But then, if your question is that if you are getting an unsecured loan from an NBFC, then offering an partial secured loan lowers your interest rate. Yes, definitely it does. But if you are already getting a secured loan, fully secured loan, then you will not be able to get a lower interest rate. That's obvious, right? So yeah, but yeah, to answer your second question, SBI doesn't offer the partial collateral loan. Does banks like ICICI provide loans with partial repayment during the study period? No, you have to pay interest every month. My property is only 1 year old and it's under 11-year loan. That is the first. Can I use that as a collateral? Depending on what is the value of the collateral and how much money is outstanding on that property. If the difference in the value of the collateral and the outstanding amount is huge, then yes, you can. But then you will have to transfer the home loan to the bank where you are taking the education loan from. How will the banks or NBFCs pay the fee or living expense? Will they directly transfer to the university? If so, do we need to request priority? Does living expenses? See, most of the banks these days give you a prepaid card, which is being loaded with money for next 6 months, and you can use it as a debit card anywhere, even to take out the cash from it. So I hope that answers. Can you explain the tax benefit of taking a loan from Saraswat Bank? Yes, you will get the tax benefit. The tax benefit is constant across the banks. So there is no difference in tax benefit from SBI versus tax benefit from Saraswat Bank. I hope that answers your question. I got my secured loan from SBI Global Advantage, where they mentioned that moratorium period is my study period plus 6 months to pay anything to period, right? Yes, correct, Ashwin. You don't need to pay anything while you study. That is the case A, which we have been discussing all along. So you got the loan in case A. I hope that answers your question. Will Canada accept NBFC? Yes, Canada accept almost all the NBFCs. Can we change the loan from non-collateral loan to partial secured loan? If so, that will be the charges. So if you've not taken the disbursement yet, then yes, you can do it. There will not be any extra charge. Only extra charge will be the valuation of the property, which is done by an external lawyer and evaluator, which cost around 8 to 10,000 rupees. So that will be the extra cost that you will have. But to your specific case, yes, you will have to discuss with the concerned person from whom you have taken the loan, even through GyanDhan. Then you have to talk to your GyanDhan loan counselor. They should be able to help you out. Question: is Avan loan sanction letter valid for US visa interview? Yes, it will be valid for US visa interview. I have Arik Grover. I have already started the process of loan with GyanDhan. What is the maximum processing time from loan? Because I have already received offer letter from University of Ottawa. My studies will start in August 22. So again, you have too much time, Arvik. Don't worry about it. Ideally, you should be able to get in unsecured loan in 5 to 7 days and in secured loan in 15-20 days. So you have ample amount of time. Please don't worry about getting out of time. Taking loan for greater tenure is advantageous. RC, I would recommend go ahead with as long tenure as possible, and because let's say if the situation arises and you just have to, you can't pay more, then you have an option to pay less. And but if you get good amount, good salary, good bonuses, then you can always prepay. There is no harm in prepay. So let's say if you take the loan for 10 years, be safe. But let's say if you want to close it out in 5 years, you can close it out in 5 years. So that should not be an issue. Okay, so I think in total we have answered more than 70 questions today. Uh, uh, Great. It was great interacting with all of you. Let me take the last question. Does GyanDhan accept all Germany accept all NBFCs? Yes, Germany does. Uh, I hope that answers the question. So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in and making this session so interactive. I really loved talking to all of you. I really enjoyed it, and so many questions that I did not expect about the partial secured loan and tax benefits and whatnot. Clearly, very happy to see that people are aware of these terms and asking the right questions. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining and making my day by allowing me to interact with you today. I hope this session was helpful for you. Do reach out to GyanDhan by checking the loan eligibility on GyanDhan Counselor, or write to me on aman.jain@gyandhan.com, and I would be able to connect you with consultant in the team. Whatever be the case, whatever help you need as far as the abroad education loan is concerned, GyanDhan is the place to be. Don't forget to apply for the GyanDhan scholarship, which is available under the scholarship section of GyanDhan website. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good day. Have a good weekend ahead. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.